Peter?
And I just might mention, there was a great hero, a baseball hero, and he was renowned the world over, and somebody asked him about his success, and he said, the little alley boy, the little dark-skinned boy in the alley who pitched the ball to him, early morning, late night, they gave him the practice. Just the little guy, he gave the honor to instead of himself. This little guy made him. And I think we do need to help each other like that, to make each other. Okay?
Peter, your question.
Do you think that learning is different or better than it used to be?
Do you think that learning is different or better than it used to be?
We had to know our phonics. We had oral reading, we had silent reading, we had book reports, and we were drilled and drilled and drilled. Not only in reading, but the 3 A's, reading, writing, and arithmetic. Those were our main subjects. We had science, etc. But our teachers believed then that the 3 A's, that's the 3 R's.
Oh, 3 R's, yes.
The 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Okay, Mauricio.
I just might make one comment now. All of us need crutches once in a while. And in spelling, I never learned how to spell the word arithmetic. I don't today. I would take the first letter of each word that I'm going to say and write that, and that spelled arithmetic. A red Indian thought he might eat tomatoes in church. And probably you all have some crutches too on some words. Another thing too, our teachers drilled us, we had to learn the 100 demons. The 100 demons, that was the words that are tricky.
Mm. Okay, Mauricio?
What's an interesting fact about you?
What's an interesting fact about you?
About what?
About you.
I don't know. Life is so interesting. You wouldn't want to hear everything about it, but I think to be knowledgeable of the world we live in, travel and live in the different places wherever you have opportunity and learn the cultures of the people. It's really neat if we can mix into the many cultures of the world and be happy and also be an asset to them. Whether it's missionary or whether it's a school teacher, I think school teachers are one of the best ways to help the world become elevated in the sciences and in the way of life.
Eliane?
Were you smart?
I probably led my class probably in literature, reading, and in English.
Tara?
I especially liked in the different phases of our English, I especially like diagramming sentences. Do you have to do that?
They have been doing it. It's not something they're enjoying.
I don't think I was smart, but I was eager. I really did like school. And sometimes I got punished too for not being right.
What's the scariest thing you have ever done or had to face?
What's the scariest thing you've ever done?
I don't know how many of you seen the pictures of Grapes of Wrath.
They've seen a couple of them. I don't think they knew that.
In the middle of the Great Depression there, we moved to California out of the Great Dust Bowl and so forth. And probably the first day we had our old car hooked to the trailer and pulling a few of our things. And left a lot at Texas when we just turned our farms back to the government because of the drought and the storms and so forth. When we got to Albuquerque, the Rio Grande River, one of the big rivers of the country, the bridge was washed out. And here we were stuck down in there in the middle of the night. Couldn't get our car to move or anything. And I was just a little kid, about 7, 8 years old. But the government had an old man there with a team of horses. And when our turn came, he came with those big old horses and hooked to us and pulled us across the sand of the dry river and on our way again. That was a childhood scare anyway.
Mm-hmm. Juliana,
Did you get spanked often?
did you get spanked often?
Sometimes we did, but many times the teacher would just tell me, well, at home, yes, if I disobeyed, I got a spanking. But there was one trick about it. If we got a spanking in school, my parents had a rule that when we got home, we got one too. We kids never thought that was right, so we tried to keep it a secret if we got a spanking in school. But our parents wouldn't take our side. They took the teacher's side. But there were other types of punishment. Like one time I was being naughty and the teacher moved me back into the cloakroom for a whole week.
What?
Wow.
Left the door.
The coat room.
You know what the cloakroom was?
They don't, no.
You tell them. It was a special room where we put our lunch pails. You have lockers out here. It was a special room where we put our lunch pails and hung up our clothes and so forth until time to go home. When we came in the morning, until time to go home. That was our way of the private lockers. But I was moved into the cloakroom for not being. They left the door open so I could see out. That was probably a better punishment than a spanking.
Ben?
How did the war in the 40s affect America?
How did the war in the 40s affect America or affect your family?
I was going to a school where I think war was declared on Sunday, December the 7th, Sunday, when Pearl Harbor attacked. It was a terrific shock to us, although we knew that the world wars were raging the world over, but we never expected it to hit our shore. And there was a Japanese boy in our class, and the teacher just told Rayton, she said, why don't you just go home? It'll be better, you'll be better off, not be, persecuted or made fun of or something. He was a true American, but he was Japanese. And it did affect us in many ways, the war. Food, clothes, shelter, school, and it changed we had to study a lot about the world and the problems and so forth. Hopefully the day comes when wars won't be the answer. There will be better answers to our differences.
Noel?
Oh, okay. How was your family considered wealthy?
Was your family considered wealthy?
No, we weren't. We were middle class. But if you don't mind, we sang a little song. It was, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire. My father is rich in houses and lands, and I'm his heir. That's my attitude. I'm a millionaire.
Jacob.
What is your middle name?
What is your middle name?
I don't know. My middle name is Post. My great uncle is the guy who started the cereal company, Post Toasties. He was my mother's uncle. He'd be my great uncle. His first experiment was making these cereals because he had joined a health club. You should know about that today. And when he came up with corn flakes and all of these different cereals, he thought that was a good way to teach kids proper way of eating, a healthy way. His first drink was, instead of coffee, I don't know if he ever drank coffee, his first drink was Postum, P-O-S-T-U-M, I believe. And finally now you can find it on the market again.
Really?
It was made out of cereals like wheat. I've written them a letter and told them I think they ought to also put roasted sunflower seeds in that, and it would be better yet.
That would be good. All right. Did you have any other things you wanted to share with them?
Well, you asked me about, I think learning was today different than before? You asked me that. I don't think so, but I give liberty for anybody. You can put me on the spot if you. Oh, you didn't ask me about that animal.
Oh, yes, the dog outhouse story. That was. I skipped Cheyenne. I'm sorry, Cheyenne. Ask your question.
Tell us about the dog outhouse story.